Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Leonard, and it's the time of the month again, It's reading wrap-up time. So I have everything ready, but this month I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. So I'm going to be talking about all the books I read, which weren't that many, but we'll get into it. And then I'm also going to be doing a little TBR, because why not? Alright, so let's just get started. So I started the month reading The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas, and I was a bit, not worried, but I'm going to say worried, starting this book, because when it first came out, everyone loved it, it was great, it was awesome, it was everyone's favorite book, and then it just started getting negative reviews, and then it was just negative, positive, positive, and so I wanted to see for myself what the hype or the not hype was about, and I read it on my Kindle, and I loved it. I liked it a lot, almost loved it. Pretty much, if you don't know, I don't know how you could not know, but either way, if you don't know, The Spanish Love Deception is a enemies to lovers, workplace, enemies something, fake dating trope. So it's about Catalina. It's about Catalina and Aaron. And so Catalina has to go to a wedding in Spain. She's Spanish. And she told her family that she would bring her boyfriend, but she doesn't have a boyfriend. And so she eventually brings Aaron. Aaron Blackford is the epitome of a book boyfriend. I mean, at least I've been seeing him a lot on my social media. And so she eventually brings Aaron Blackford, but they hate each other. And they're always bickering, and she hates him. And yeah, there's something, a sort of a mystery that explains why she has to bring a fake boyfriend to the wedding, and that part where you get what happened, there was a lot of build up to that moment, and then when it happened, it was just, that's the reason. I didn't really like it. But I loved their relationship, I loved Aaron, I loved everything. I think I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. Yeah, I really did. Next, I read, if I am not mistaken, I read Too Late by Colleen Hoover. And I've already talked about this book on my 24-hour readathon, on the latest one I did. And Too Late, it's about a girl, I don't remember her name, I think it's whatever, it's about a girl, and she has a boyfriend. He is a drug dealer, he's the big man on campus. His name is Asa. And then they have an abusive relationship, he abuses her all the time, and she's with him because he has money and because he can support her and her brother. And then one day she meets a guy, I don't remember his name, Luke, I think it's Luke. If it's not, whatever, it's going to be Luke from now on. And so she meets Luke, no, it's not Luke, whatever, she meets a guy, and then they have a lot of banter in class, and then she thinks, wow, this guy's different. But then she discovers that he is working for her boyfriend. And then he has a secret identity, and then you are trying to figure out what happened. Then you are seeing her trying to get away from that relationship with Asa, and it's complicated. Yeah, it's by Colleen Hoover. I don't think I said that before, and she actually doesn't say this book is, the name on the cover is C. Hoover, not Colleen Hoover, because it's a lot of, it's a darker topic than she usually writes about. And I get that. After reading, I was in stress all the time. I wanted to read, but I was reading and I was hyperventilating. And I read a book a couple months ago, Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, and this book, Too Late, really reminded me of that book. But I've already said this before, but I'm going to say it again. The not as good version of that book. Yeah, it talks really about abusive relationships, about stalking. I don't know, they don't have a break, you know. I think I gave it 2 stars. I don't really know if I gave it 2 or 2.5, but something like that. It wasn't really the book for me, and if you're going to read that book, or even Long Shot, which I really did like, read the trigger warnings first. Next, I read Family of Liars by E. Lockhart, and I've had this book on my physical TBR since it came out. Like, I think it came out either in March or in April, but I have this book on my TBR since then. And I wanted to reread We Were Liars first, and I did try it, but I got to like 30 pages and I was done. And so I just picked up We Were Liars, and I didn't really like it. I loved We Were Liars when I first read it, and then I had sort of high hopes for this book, and it just didn't reach them. A lot of people are saying that they prefer this book to We Were Liars. Well, I don't. And this book talks about Johnny's mother, so one of the aunts from We Were Liars, and she's explaining to her son what happened and how her summers were when she was younger. And I can't really say a lot about this book without spoiling it, so I'm not going to say any further. But I didn't really like it. I don't think I've rated this book, but I think I'm going to give it like 2.5 stars. It just fell flat for me. Sometimes I was a bit boring. It was really predictable. With We Were Liars, I couldn't predict the ending, but with this book, it was so predictable, you know. I wasn't ever like in shock or in awe. Like, nothing really memorable happened in this book. But it was sort of nice revisiting We Were Liars, not We Were Liars, but the We Were Liars universe, if that makes sense. But not something I would really recommend, but yeah. And then it comes to the ish books of this month, because I started reading the fine print, and I got to like 20-something%, 30, and then I DNF'd it for now because of the fine print by Lauren Asher. Oh, if you don't know, the fine print, it's the first one of the Dreamland Billionaire series, and the grandpa dies and he leaves this like huge company, sort of like Disneyland, Disney World, whatever, to his grandsons. But they have, each one of them has to do something in order to get his share of the company. And I'm not feeling this book. I was bored a lot of the times. I didn't care. I wasn't invested enough. It isn't something that I said, no, I'm going to DNF it like forever and I'm never going to pick this book up. No, it's something that I want to revisit, but when I'm in the mood for it, because I really wasn't in the mood for it. So yeah, that's one of the ish books I read this month. And then I started Twisted Hate by Anna Wong. I have already read the first 2 books. Obviously this one is the 3rd one, and this one is about Jules and Josh, and I am currently this much in, so on page 318, and I am loving this book. I really love the Twisted universe. I like seeing them all and how they're all doing. I like this book series, I really do. But I didn't finish this book. This book is enemies with benefits. It's weird because Jules and Josh hate each other. Josh is Jules' best friend's brother, and they hate each other since they met, and then something changes, and then they start this enemies with benefits thing. And yeah, you get a look into Jules' past, and yeah, I'm really liking this book. I think I'm going to be able to finish it today. I'm really sad because I really wanted to be able to put this in this like wrap up thing. Yeah, I finished this book and give you my final rating, but that's not going to happen. So you guys will have to wait until next month to see my final thoughts on this book. And I think these were all the books I read this month. Oh no, I don't have it right now, at least I can't see it right now, but I also DNF'd for now Silver Girl by Elin Hilderbrand. I started reading it in the beginning of September, but I'm going to DNF it until next summer because I really want to read that book during summer. It's about Meredith, and her husband committed fraud and he's going to jail, and there's a possibility that she and her children will be going to jail as well as like associates. And then she decides to escape and go to Nantucket with her best friend that she hasn't spoken to in a really long time. And yeah, I was like 80 pages into that book, but I had to DNF it because I really want to read it in summer.
I completely forgot to say but I also read 14 Ways to Die by someone, and I also talked about this book on my 24-hour readathon, my latest one, and I liked that book. It's a YA mystery type of thing. So it's about a girl that I don't remember her name, and her mother was murdered by a serial killer, and then she goes on this reality TV show where she is trying to catch her mother's killer. Yeah, it was a good book, but I just felt that when the identity of the killer was covered, it was all a bit anticlimactic. All of the ends tied together really quickly, and I just didn't really like that. I don't know how many stars I give it, but I think maybe 3.5 would be a good rating. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this book. I think not really a memorable book, but it's an entertaining one. It's an entertaining read.
But yeah, those were all the ish books, so I think that makes 7-ish books I read this month. Yeah, and now for the TBR. But firstly, yesterday I got this in the mail, and I'm so excited. So I've already opened it. You guys know that I couldn't resist not opening. And so I got A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which is the third one of the ACOTAR series. It's so pretty, but it's thick, and I am actually excited to pick this series up again. But yeah, I got this one, and then I also got Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is the second one of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I also have but haven't read yet. So yeah, I got these 2 books. And now for my TBR for October. I have 4 books on my physical TBR that I would like to read this month. On my Kindle, I don't really know. Sometimes, maybe in between, I will pick, if I have the time as well, I will pick a Kindle book. But yeah, let's just get started. So for October, I really want to read My Policeman by Ethan Roberts. I think that's how you say it. I've actually started reading this book during summer. I got to page 38. But then I was bored and I decided to put it down. But I'm going to be picking it up again this month because My Policeman comes out on, I believe, November 4th, and I really want to read this book before the movie comes out, which stars Harry Styles. And so yeah, I will be reading this book this month. It's mandatory that I read this book this month. Then I have Bunny by Mona Awad. This book is the scary book that I want to read this month. I have some on my Kindle that I'll maybe get to, but I don't know yet. So, but this one is the scary book that I'm going to be picking up for October because Halloween. It's not really scary, but it's weird. And so yeah, I'll be picking up this book. I've heard a lot of people say that it's similar to The Secret History, and I read The Secret History this year and I liked it, sort of. So I'm excited to read this one, especially since this one is shorter. And The Secret History was kind of boring because in some parts it was really dragging. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't really know a lot about this book. I know that there's a group of girls and they call themselves Bunny, and then there's this girl and then they invite her to join their club, and then I don't know what happens. I just know this much. But yeah, I'm excited to begin this book as well. And then I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but I said that when I'd be ordering Aquawar that I would start Aquamoth, and so here it is for this month TBR. I will hopefully be starting Aquamoth, so A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second one of the ACOTAR, obviously, and is also a thick one, so I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but I will try my best. Yeah, I don't really know what it's about. I only knew what ACOTAR was about, so I think this one is the second part, but I don't really know. I don't really want to read the blurb. I want to go into it blindly. Yeah. And then finally I have, obviously, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and also because this is a mystery thriller something, also fits sort of in the horror genre for this month. Yeah, and I know this is about a girl, I think her name is Harper, and she is writing her essay for college, and then she's writing about a cold case that happened, or a murder that happened in her town, and then she finds out that the person that is convicted for the murder maybe wasn't the murderer, or maybe isn't the murderer, whatever. And so she starts a podcast, I think, and that's all I know about this book. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I don't really have anything more to say for today, I think. So I feel that this video was a bit all over the place, but oh well. Either way, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, not forget to like and subscribe and follow me on my social media. My links are down below. And yeah guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!